All right, this is my 2016 F-150 camper shell, and this one is made by ARE. The third brake light on these are notorious for leaking or allowing water to come in. They're not real airtight. And so this one still works, but it looks pretty crappy. I don't really like that it's the black anyway. I'd prefer it to be red. So if you were to get one of these from ARE, they're pretty expensive, if you can even get one. But all they really are these generic third brake lights. And a lot of these camper shells, I think Leer uses the same ones sometimes. I'm not going to say they use them for every model, but they definitely use them for quite a few. We're going to replace this. However, a lot of the reviews on Amazon, and by the way, I'll put the link for the description of the one I'm using here. The reviews on Amazon all say that they end up leaking, just like this one had. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to bulletproof this and make it nice and watertight with a few extra tricks that I'll show you. But the first things first is we need to get this one out. And as you can see, it's already loose. There's a little bit of foam in there that's supposed to act as a gasket that's doing nothing at this point. So what there is on the underside, there's this double-sided tape, and we have to separate that. Depending on how weather-worn yours is, it may not be too bad. It may pretty much pop right out. But it's not too hard. Just get a razor blade. Try to angle it upwards so it's not cutting into your fiberglass. And there we go. And most of the tape came off with the light. So definitely going to want to clean this up, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. In the meantime, we're going to actually take our new light and we are going to go and see what we can do to waterproof it. But just to finish this up, all we need to do is remove these wires, which are routed right to the back of here. And there's this little plug, and it's only going to fit through that hole if we can unplug it or cut the wires. But since I don't have any intention of reusing this light, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it right here. So I ran the wires through, and we'll just let it sit flush there. And this one does stick out just a tiny bit on the bottom lip here. Not a ton, but just enough that you might notice it, but it's not going to bother me. So I'm just going to go ahead and go forward with it. So the big issue with these is that they leak through the seal that is already there, which when you start looking at it, it's really understandable why. So first and foremost, the number one seal that they have here is this little rubber grommet. And if you look at it, first off, the wires just freely could go in and out. And that tells you that it's not very tight around where the wires are. Secondly, if you pop underneath there, there's really loose tolerances, and you can actually just pop this whole rubber gasket out pretty easily, and see that grommet in there isn't great. So what we're going to do is fill in here with sealant, and you'll notice too that the housing and the actual light module are not even seated very tightly. See how it moves in there? So that'll hopefully help the movement as well. Not that it matters too much. The other thing though is if you take a close look at the edge, the way this is just one big plastic red piece without seams on the edges. It's all just one piece. And then there's this black piece that presses in, and you would hope that they have some sort of sealant on the inside there. But I can actually see gaps in where it's pressed together all the way around. So what we're going to do is seal the crack, and then when we're done and that's all dry, we will seal this hole as well. So we don't want to start just taking sealant and just going crazy with it. It will look really gross. I mean, you could do that, but it doesn't take much more time to mask it off properly. So vinyl tape, like a fine line tape, is a little better for this, but most people just have masking tape sitting around. So you want to have enough of an edge, maybe like a 1/16 of an inch, for the sealant to grab onto both sides of the red housing and the black back plate. So I'm going to make it straight as long as I can. Now the good news is that this is pretty much never going to be seen because it's going to be on the top. Something like that. Also, this this gasket maker, this sealant, it's not really gasket maker, it's just black RTV. It's pretty easy to clean off with a blade or with your fingernail in small segments, so it's not that big of a deal. When I'm doing this too, I'm going to take my tail of tape and I'm going to go like this and fold it back on itself. Now I have a pull tab, so when I've got all my sealant on here, I can actually just grab this and pull back to demask it while it's still wet, so I get a nice sharp edge, because you're going to want to demask it before the sealant dries. So we're going to do that all the way around, and then you're going to need to put it on the back plate too, which is a little tricky because you don't want to go down here because you don't want the sealant to wrap over, so it's going to be kind of just a hard edge. I'll show you that here in a moment. But you're going to just do essentially that the entire way around. Okay, so now we've got it all masked up all the way around. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then the next thing we're going to want to get is some sandpaper. And this is, I think, 80 grit, but you could just use red Scotch Brite or whatever. And you don't need to go crazy with this. We're not trying to like remove material, we're just trying to scuff. And the thing is if we were to just put the sealant right over this unscuffed plastic, it would peel off. And then water would seep in underneath. So pretty much this is just giving a surface for the sealant to bite onto, and hopefully it will keep the sealant there forever. If you ever see sealant peeling away from something early, it's because it wasn't prepped right. Alright, so now that we've got it all prepped out, just double check. You might want to clean this surface afterwards, at least just wipe it off. Probably better to use some isopropyl alcohol or something, but using this masking tape might lift the edges if I get it wet. So I'm just going to at least wipe off. So we're just going to use a black RTV adhesive, and this is just for any outdoor use, automotive use, general use. So the idea is just put a little bead all on the edge. You don't need a lot. And then you're going to take a piece of like credit card or Bondo scraper or something. I just cut this piece of a gift card type material. And then afterwards you're going to go through and you're going to be pushing some pressure on it, and you're going to be spreading it and making a nice even coat while also forcing it into these cracks. And you don't want to go flush with it. You want to go flush with the tape, but not with the light, because you want it to build up a little bit of volume, right, for your actual seal. If you go too tight, you're going to wipe it all off. Alright, so I'm going to now get a piece of paper towel here for my waist, because this can get a little messy. It's as simple as going around and smoothing it out. Alright, that's about as good as I need to do it here. So now we'll just peel the tape off real carefully, and we've got our nice pull tabs here. Okay, so now we've got it all sealed up, and it's not crazy pretty, but at least the lines are somewhat straight. And then once it's dry, you can actually come back with a razor blade and cut down any of that little extra parts that are sticking out if you care. But at least now we know we've got a much better seal on the outside to assist whatever seal, if any, is on the inside. So now we'll just let this dry. So the best way is just to keep it elevated so it doesn't get all over your surface. And we'll just rest it like right there. All right, so now we've got it all dry. All we got to do now, I already trimmed down the edges, so that's kind of what you're left with. Hopefully, to the untrained eye, it's not easy to see. So all we've got to do now is finish sealing it up, which is through that one hole. So I've got my hot glue gun here. We'll see it's starting to heat up. You could use the same black sealant RTV that we used before. I like to use this hot glue because it has better flow and it stays nice and wet while you get it in there, and then it dries pretty quickly afterwards. So I'm just going to go ahead and start squeezing it all up in here till it starts oozing out. Something like that. And then I'm just going to force that grommet back into place before this dries, like that. Now it might make a little bit of a mess, but hot glue scrapes off pretty easy once it's dry. So that's all there is to it. So now this is ready. As soon as this cools off, it'll be ready for install. So last thing we need to do before we install this is clean it up. Now obviously we don't have a whole ton more residue, but I'm just going to take a blade and scrape off what I can. And then I'm just going to wipe it down with some glass cleaner, get as much dirt out as we can so we get a good mating surface. And then lastly, I'm going to use some of this adhesive remover. I love this stuff. Works really well. I think we'll call that good enough. Once it's dry, I'm just going to go ahead and feed these wires through. And then we'll peel this double-sided tape and push it as far against the back as I can, and slide it down and apply pressure. And there we go. As you can see, this particular light does stick out a tiny bit, but it looks pretty good. That seal that we put on the top is hardly noticeable, and it won't be noticeable at all once we're down on the ground. And now there's our finished product. All we gotta do is go inside and reattach the wires, but I won't cover that in this video, and that's all there is to it.